Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your mid October. I was going to say April, February 2022 general tarot reading. It's Rena here. The heart of the matter is the Eight of Swords, which is a card. The swords are connected to air, like you, Aquarius, and Libra. And you see those black birds. I think that's like kind of those thoughts, self-defeating thoughts, the kind of things that tell you can't do it. You know, the old tapes. And so there might be something going on here where you are talking yourself out of something because of, insecurities, fears. We have in the past position the Magician card, which is connected to Aries. So, I mean, it could be like an Aries person who's come into your life. Maybe it's somebody that you really like and you're afraid of getting close to that person because you're afraid, those crows are about you fearing that you're going to be hurt again, for instance. It could be something like that. I love like the kind of whirlpool that it reminds me of the vortex with the law of attraction with the Magician card. And this is a card of I was going to say self-empowerment, but it's really more than that. It's really about self-reliance of like believing that you have everything that you need to create the life of your dreams, if you really want to boil it down to that. And that, magic is more practical than we think. It's not just like random. It's kind of like believing in yourself is part of it and believing that things are possible. So with the Eight of Swords, you might be trying to create something that still is having difficulty manifesting because of those self-defeating thoughts. So there are so many things that you can do to reprogram your brain. I don't know that man, and I need to like get into him more. Dr. Joe Dispenza, I think his name is, because I think he does a lot of that kind of. It has the metaphysical angle for sure, but it also is kind of like he likes to prove things scientifically, I notice, and that can appeal to a lot of Gemini people who may be very analytical and like that intellectual side of it, not just woo-woo, but really doing that. But the point is that it's not a matter of these outer events, outer circumstances that are, ideal for you to feel that you can make something happen. Sometimes you might be in a really, there are stories of people where their backs are against the wall and they come up with an idea or they, something that they create and it takes off. So it's not always that you're in this cushy situation where you can make this happen. And maybe right now you're in a pretty dire situation. You're like, how am I going to make something happen? You feel like you're trying to think positively. You're trying to do the law of attraction or whatever. And it's still not working. And it's like, approaching it from different angles, like EFT, emotional freedom technique, which is tapping, affirmations, meditation, like the whole 9 yards. If you can employ some of these things in tandem, I don't think that I was going to say it's not going to hurt, but it might actually puts you in such a great vibe that you start to feel like all of the things that you're wanting to manifest start doing so. And sometimes when a person is trying to better themselves, it's almost like there are these psychic attacks from these crows like coming in and trying to be a naysayer. The higher message is the Three of Wands, and I think that it's that you're ready for this expansion. You're ready to go on an adventure. Usually, Gemini people are pretty happy-go-lucky, but you might have an inner planet, like you might have the moon in Cancer or Pisces and be a lot more, or even Scorpio and be a lot more emotional. You might have inner planets in Cancer that make it like Mercury or Venus and or Mars, and you get blown, I was going to say blown by every wind, but you can get caught up in something emotionally that does affect you, and that's human. I mean, if you have feelings, but the thing is that the more that you get those thoughts under control, the more that you're not going to be blown by every wind that happens. What crosses you is the Seven of Cups. And this is a card that I feel like it can be connected to Pisces. But it's also a card about, you see the person in his facial expression, or whatever you want to call it, the gesture. It's like he's thinking, he's trying to choose between his options. He has a lot of options. You see that snake, and that kind of points to deception. There's actually a couple of like a bat wing. And it might be something where, with the Magician card, you have things that you can do, but you're not quite sure what is the best option. If you have offers, if you have ideas, and also, and that really points to that kind of clarity that you need. You have 2 sevens here, and the number 7 is the number of the turning point. We always think about lucky sevens, but in numerology, it can be associated with artistic matters, with contemplative issues, and there can be kind of like with the Seven of Cups, confusion, not being able to think straight. And again, I go back to the Eight of Swords. I think that is really a lot of what might be going on here. And I feel like the Eight of Swords is sandwiched between 2 very positive cards that are both fire related. And fire is independence, fire is enthusiasm and confidence. And then here was more fire. What's coming in is the Seven of Wands. This is a card of standing your ground. She's got that little protective bubble. I like that imagery for this card because I think of the person who is standing in their power, is believing that they have the right to their individuality, that they don't have to explain it to anybody else. So if you feel like you have been a cog in the wheel, if you have been somebody else's control, under somebody else's thumb, then you may be kind of emerging from that. And certainly with the Three of Wands, there is that desire for freedom. And maybe it's been a long time coming for you, Gemini. The outcome is the Nine of Pentacles, and this is a card of financial independence. So this is a good omen for money. And if you have been, maybe that's what the Eight of Swords is. You're starting a business, and you're waiting for that money to come in. And I would say too, with this, Gemini people tend to be scattered with their thoughts. And the Seven of Cups, it's almost like scattering, but of your emotions. So being able to hone in on something, like if you want to sell a product, maybe you're trying to have too much variety. And you need to just kind of pare down your options so that other people can have more clarity when they look at your website. Seven of Wands can be this sense of also, if you are dealing with clients, that you have your boundaries. Actually, that's more of the Nine of Wands. Seven of Wands is more like that you're not going to allow somebody to push you around. And yes, that can be with clients too, but I think that maybe you are still doing something for, you're working for somebody else, and the Magician is you emerging as wanting to work for yourself and be more independent. And it's a process. It's not something that happens overnight. But the Nine of Pentacles is a card of, showing the potential outcome. Okay, that's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I do a lot of astrology readings. I also do tarot. And you can find out more information at the link below. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. Take care. Bye.